What's up, NBA fans? Today we will be talking about some NBA news, which includes Hassan Whiteside's gun being stolen, Colin Sexton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander becoming top rookies in draft steals, and much more. Before we start, I would like to say make sure you subscribe if you aren't, and hit the notification bell. Now let's get into the topic. First, let's start with Hassan Whiteside and his $50,000 gun being stolen from his $400,000 Rolls Royce. According to a radio host named Andy Slatter, Whiteside has bought a M16 ammo and a silencer on July 5th. After he drove to the University of Miami for a workout, and after coming back home, he told the police that the gun had already been gone missing. It seemed that he had left his Rolls Royce unlocked while at the workout center and the gun shop, which is not a great idea, but we'll get back to that later. He told the police and detectives that he had only been to the shop, Watsco Center, which is where he was practicing, and his home before seeing it was stolen. Hassan Whiteside thought the gun was most likely taken at the university, but apparently, police found out it was taken at the gun shop after buying the gun when Whiteside went back in for something else, which Whiteside told them could have been a possibility. They found the gun and ammo in a vehicle on July 23rd, then found the silencer a little later. Whiteside recently proceeded to say that he did have a gun license for the gun over the summer, and the team spokesman said he did not violate any team rules. This is good because it looks like Whiteside has been helping the Heat win a good amount of games recently, with averaging 14 points, 15 rebounds, but starting 13 out of the 14 games. Next, let's talk about LeBron James almost cracking after the Lakers' terrible start to the season. So, we all know, the Lakers started off with 3 losses off the bat. This also included Rondo and Ingram getting ejected for getting into a fight with James Harden, Chris Paul, and both teams and coaches trying to settle things down. At first, the Lakers team looked like they were going to run into a lot of trouble, with LeBron not knowing what to do. LeBron even said about this when he thought about the start of the season: "I haven't changed anything outwardly, but you know me. You know who I am. I almost cracked. I had to sit back and remind myself. You knew what you were getting yourself into. This process has been good for me. I just have to continue being patient." Saying this to Yahoo Sports. It seems though that LeBron has brought himself and his team together by playing better and better every night. Not to mention, with adding Tyson Chandler for defense, the Lakers are looking brighter than they ever been this season, with all teammates loving the addition of Chandler. They have now gone on a 3-game winning streak with a 7-3 ratio in their past 10 games. Now, I am sure all of you have heard about the Draymond and Kevin Durant situation. Klay Thompson even said himself that the Warriors' only enemy is themselves, and he's completely right. If you don't know what happened, basically Draymond took the ball up on Tuesday's game with 5 seconds left and turned it over, causing overtime, while Durant was asking for the ball the whole time. Durant and Green proceeded to yell on the bench at each other, then did the same in the locker room, with Green even talking about Kevin's free agency moves, and then Durant being seen mouthing, "This is why I'm leaving." Now at this point, the Warriors do not know what to do. Do they trade Green, trade Durant, or wait till free agency to see what happens? To be honest, I don't know what they should do either. Their best option is to figure things out. Durant as well said in an interview that he and Green had not worked it out yet, but they are going to hopefully in the future. Knowing that Draymond got a suspension, we don't know how he really feels about this. Draymond did say though, "You know, at the end of the day, as I've said before, whatever Kevin decides to do, whatever Klay decides to do, whatever who decides to do, we had great years together." So what I think is that I agree with Klay. I think the biggest enemy is themselves, and if they cannot work it out, then the team would definitely have a rough season moving forward. Now let's talk about Colin Sexton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, being a Cavs fan and Sexton fan, I am super happy that this week he's been averaging 20 points with 4 rebounds and 3 assists added on. Now in the first couple games, they had Sexton coming off the bench, causing Sexton to add almost nothing to the team. But with Hill being injured, Sexton got the starting role. So far, he has shown the Cavs management what he can really do. But with Hill coming back soon, there could be a problem on who to start and who to bench. He has well shot 48% from the field because of the starter role, and recently shot 6 for 8 on 3-pointers. Apparently, injured Kevin Love even said that the coaches are now trying to have Sexton shoot more to find ways to the basket instead of always taking mid-range jumpers. In total, I hope they keep Sexton in his starting role, and I cannot wait to see what he becomes in the future. Now, as for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was drafted 13th by the Clippers this season and took over as the starting shooting guard when Avery Bradley got injured. I'm guessing you see the theme here that the starter gets injured and the bench rookie comes in and does great. Shai has been averaging 14.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 2.3 assists. He has even been a better defensive monster, with averaging 1 steal and 1.3 blocks as a shooting guard all this week. According to Synergy Sports Tech, he's been doing great in pick and roll situations, as he lacks in athleticism and is averaging 1.06 points per possession. Even though I'm definitely not a Clippers fan, I am super excited to see him play and what he can do. Now for Carmelo Anthony. The Rockets have said that they're going to part ways with Anthony. Carmelo has now said countless times that he might just retire at this point. Allen Iverson, someone who saw him play for a while and even played on his team in Denver, even said that he should not retire and that he should just stick in the league. Golden State has now said that they don't want the 10-time All-Star, and I just feel bad for him. He's had a great career. Even now, he has not won a championship, and now no one wants him on their team, it seems of right now. But I'm going to list some teams that I think Carmelo should try to join. First of all, the Sixers. Now I say this because if you've not watched our previous video, which you should, we talked about how the Sixers now need to space the floor. Though he does not have the best shot in the world anymore, he can still help out on the 3-ball, and he would help space the floor since lately he has been put at power forward, and be like a stretch 4 for the other team. Now the other two teams I think you should go to is possibly the Raptors and Celtics, because both teams are contending for titles right now, and it would never hurt to add some depth to your bench, especially someone like Melo, who's an NBA veteran. It could help the young guys out, especially with the Celtics, who have tons of young, good players. It would be pretty interesting to see him go to the Raptors. All the news that we gathered for today's episode, so that's it for today's video. I hope all of you enjoyed, and I'll see all you NBA fans in the next video.